morning, I'm Frank Powers, and this is Lifestyle Tucson, the program where I speak to our neighbors, the people behind the scenes of our amazing organizations that are 501c3 nonprofits. Our friends are informing you how they serve our community, and they are here to give you updates on future projects. So let's make some new friends today. The American Heart Association has funded more than $5 billion in cardiovascular and brain health research since 1949, making it the single largest non-government supporter of heart and brain health research in the U.S. The result? We've had a 70% drop in the age-adjusted heart disease deaths since the Heart Association began funding research in 1948. But they do so much more through community events, walks, and most importantly, they educate with lots of classes in various subjects about health and safety. We kicked off June with CPR Awareness Week, and we have quite a story to tell you about someone's life that was saved right here in Tucson just a month ago. Learn CPR yourself at heart.org/nation. Because today, I'm forced to speak with Sabino High School JV Defensive Coordinator Marius Lester and former All-State athlete and local entrepreneur, as well as Marius, he's working too, Derek Sanchez. Let's meet these fine folks saving lives here. Welcome to Lifestyle Tucson.
Yo, what's going on?
It's fun to have young people in the studio, let me tell you. It happens pretty rarely. And sometimes when it happens, the young people, they're like 9 because they're from Saguaro City Music Theater. So talking to some fine folks in here today is going to be great because, yes, they sent just the two of you. They did not send some executive from heart.org. They did not send someone from the American Heart Association because we're talking about CPR. And we kicked the month off with CPR Awareness Week. And it's really an important thing that happened to you because you saved someone's life. So why don't we just get into it? Tell me the whole story of what happened to you and everything that happened, how you were involved. So Go for it.
Yeah, no, I'll go ahead and jump right into it. So basically what happened, me and Derek were out, going out having drinks, whatnot. Went ahead and Ubered home. As soon as we get out the Uber, we hear, a little bit of commotion. We go upstairs, we're giggling and laughing over the night. Derek, suggested, let's go sit on the balcony. Let's just go hang out and chill, As I'm sitting on the balcony, mind you, I just moved to this apartment complex, so I've never even sat on the balcony. Just bought new chairs.
Yeah.
We're sitting out there, hanging out, chilling, and then we hear, 3 helps. And we're like, help, help, help. But it was faint. So we're like, I don't know what that was. I look at Derek. I'm like, what was that?
Should we mind our business? Should we
just go ahead and go back inside and be like, what was that? Let's move on. Then all of a sudden we heard, we've been watching streams a lot. So we heard, a funny gesture that we heard on the stream. So we started laughing about it, at the situation because we were just like, what's going on? I never hear loud stuff in my apartment neither. So it's like, what's going on, Derek goes, do you want to be on some, Captain Save a Person stuff, let's just jump out there and, let's go save someone and see what's going on. Because at the point, we thought it was domestic violence. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
Right.
So we didn't know what we were jumping into. Derek was ahead of me. He was a bit ahead of me. He pulled out his phone and started recording. That's how this, got out there. It went viral on his Instagram, TikTok, all that.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Okay.
Yep. So he pulled out his phone. We see a lady, just standing on the bottom steps, and she happened to be the bottom stairs neighbor. Was it?
We get over there. It was the bottom stairs neighbor. She was over there. She was saying that they need CPR. I said CPR. Mar realized I said CPR. He said CPR. He said he just took a course, ran up there, turned the corner. The mom, the brother, everybody was on the side. They were pleading. The man, he was at that. We checked for pulse. Lips.
I tell you what, I'm running up the stairs and I hear CPR. That's all I heard. So I started running a little bit faster. I asked Derek in a split of a second. I'm like, Derek, you know CPR? He didn't even answer me. So I was like, all right, let's go ahead and just throw this cape on real quick. Let me jump in this action. The mom was there. The son was there. The bottom stairs neighbor, she happened to tell us after the fact. She was like, I was in shock. I didn't even want to run up there. You guys just ran right up there. So it forced her to go up there, In that situation, we weren't, knowing what was going on. So He was laid out, arms out like a snow angel almost in sense. Lips blue. Derek checked the pulse. He goes, no pulse. I got to doing compressions, and I didn't understand like doing compressions on a dummy doll is like easy, I guess you could say, because it's just obviously meant to be easy.
But a 200 plus man,
200 plus man, it was way different. So,
yes, and they
have to break ribs.
Yes, they say that like you might have to end up breaking.
If you're not trying to break ribs. You're not doing compression right.
Wow.
If you're not even attempting that.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
No, the new procedure is to not give breath.
Yeah.
Just do compressions. Just do compressions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is
Yeah.
fascinating.
I didn't necessarily. I just took the class, but like I didn't necessarily do it on a human being. So doing it on a human being was kind of surreal. People asked us, man, what were you thinking in that situation? But it was honestly no time to think. By the time I was giving compressions, looking at someone that's lifeless in front of you and then watching their lips go from blue back to pink, it was kind of like astonishing. Honestly, I didn't understand that CPR worked that well. But going ahead and taking the classes, obviously it was 6 hours, so it was serious. Obviously, it does work. It is effective. No, any CPR is better than no CPR. So we've been told that by multiple people. Obviously, our video went viral. So
paramedics, nurses, doctors. We've had all kinds of different input on what we could have done better and all kinds of different input. And it's been like an awareness and to show everybody else out there that it takes more than one person to do CPR.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, and you got to do it more than just a minute or two. You're going to be doing it for 5, 10, 15 if you know.
Yes, so the last time I spoke and we were talking about CPR with this organization, it was something that happened on a movie set with a famous actor, and they were doing the CPR on him for like 20 minutes. They had and you get exhausted,
right?
Because you're using all those muscles to try to actually. It's easier on the dummy, like you were saying.
Right.
That they had to switch people out because it's exhausting, and they kept someone alive for 15 or 20 minutes with
just keeping that blood, keeping the blood flow.
Yeah. Fascinating.
I mean, sitting there. You don't understand how you're not counting how long you're going. You're just going till you feel exhausted. I had to stop and because I started cramping. So about like a minute and a half in, I honestly started cramping everywhere in my body because I was just like not ready for this. We just had got back from having a good night with some
3
friends.
in the morning.
Night.
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning. We're exhausted. We're ready to go get some Jack in the Box tacos. Like this was not in our this was not in our game plan at all. So I mean, switching off, Derek kind of looked at me like with a look like I don't know what to do kind of thing. But in that situation, you have to be, if you know what you're doing, be the assertive person. Go ahead and be the dominant person.
Yeah.
Pull them over. Hey, man, put your arms like a prayer. Go ahead and give them compressions. Staying alive.
Exactly right. There it is.
Go ahead and keep that beat. You know what I'm saying? Once you keep that beat, I told Derek that we had 911 on the phone, so she was able to go ahead and assist us as well. So it doesn't necessarily matter who you are because the neighbor that was there, he had no clue. He barely spoke English. So we went ahead and told him, hey, get up and go ahead and do some compressions because Derek was getting tired. It's a tiring thing.
Really?
So
even you tagged another person.
I told him to get up. He's looked at me with his arms up in the air, and I was like, man, we don't got time to go ahead and discuss it. We just got to go ahead and, get down to it. Put your arms like a prayer. Go ahead and give some compressions. By that time, it had been 8 minutes. So he was given some air. He was giving some air here and there. The paramedics were, luckily they were able to get there. Good thing is if you do have multiple people there, send someone outside. Have them wave them in. Have them, know exactly what's going on directly. You don't want to go ahead and just send them like flying bats like we just went in.
Especially in an apartment complex.
Exactly. So, if you're in the back of the apartment complex, run to the front. Now, if you're in that situation, your adrenaline will
They're going to be driving around 5 minutes to be real. Come on.
Yeah, to be looking for you. They don't know exactly where your apartment complex is. If it's a neighborhood, even if it's, it doesn't matter. Just stand at the front, go ahead and wave them in, let the paramedics know what's going on, what the situation is. Because obviously they don't want to run in there blindly. They can maybe get to something and have a tool, ready for the situation, or whatever's going on.
Yeah, but honestly, just keeping a cool head and having the training just seems to be the best tool. So when did you get the training and why did you get the training? Because you said you got it pretty recent and you had even recently moved in. There's a lot of what are the odds
literally
of this all coming together that you saved this person's life? That's such a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, so recently I just started coaching at Sabino High School. So I was, fortunate enough to get the classes paid for and whatnot through them. But I did have to sit there for 6 hours. 6 hours. It was a long time. I took a lot of, mental notes and whatnot like that because they weren't allowing phones and whatnot.
But I was to get infants.
It was go ahead and get infants, babies, dogs, humans, anything like that. So adult, bigger sets of people will go ahead and smaller sets of people. It just, it went ahead and varied. We sat there and we watched a lot of videos. Yeah, it was boring. But, at the end of the day, I was able to save someone's life.
Hey, listen, he's being real because that's
being real.
what it is. We're going to learn a special skill. And yeah, that might not be the most exciting thing, but just like anything is, it's the most important thing.
Exactly.
Because knowing, as G.I. Joe says, is half the battle. So you got to just know what you're doing before you there's an alternate reality where you still would have moved into that complex. You still would have heard those helps. And then you might have run somewhere and just frozen, not know what to do. And someone just dies in front of your eyes.
Right.
Imagine how that would haunt you. Like
we could have just sat there, watched the paramedic, like could have watched them
just wait,
pull out a dead,
try
like
to,
pull out a dead body. Like it could have been a whole different situation.
And that's a different video. You don't want going viral, right?
Yeah, because people don't realize it only takes 0 to 4 minutes for brain damage to occur when you don't have blood flow.
Well said.
I mean, it's that quick. It's that quick.
Yeah. See, who needs these experts from the Heart Organization? What are you talking about? But you can go get all the information from American Heart Association. Go to heart.org. And you want to go to that / because you yourself can save lives by just keeping up on all the information, learning when they are going to have classes next, or learning how you can get involved by going to heart.org /nation. So that's pretty good. What a great heroic tale that you really did just experience.
Yeah.
And it's just you'll be telling the story for the rest of your life. You're going to be telling it to kids that you coach for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
So that's really important too, because it shows you the difference that one person can make, or a couple of people right here can make, where a whole family is not shattered because of you.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, going back to, that video, we're almost at like...
Where can people find the video? What's your Instagram or TikTok?
DWREXK20.
There you go. Put an @ in front of that.
Rex20.
There you go.
We're both in the video, so you'll see my ad on there. It's my first and last name.
That's TikTok, Instagram. You'll find it.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, no. The video. Going back to the video. Looking at the comments, it was mixed emotions, because I told Derek, I'm like, in the middle of middle of it happening, I was like, why are you recording? But like, at the end of the day, legally, it was important for us to record, because if something were to happen and it were to go ahead and go south, or go left, and we had something that went ahead and was wrong on us, we had the video to say.
And that's where the Good Samaritan Act comes into play.
Exactly.
Yes. And then that's where we'd have to get attorneys of whatnot.
Exactly. If that was a situation, but at the end of the day, we needed the flashlight. He had the flash on, luckily, so
Smart.
It was already there. I told him, I'm like, why are you recording? But I'm like, you know what? Give me the phone. We need to record this, because this isn't awareness.
Because truth be told, we really, everywhere we go, we record everything. You see, we have the meta glasses on. We record everything we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you got meta glasses.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. How am I doing? Hello. Welcome to modern times.
Yeah, for sure.
Hang on, let me suck in.
Yeah.
So that is a big part of it too, but also right, because you don't want to get caught up. Remember, people get sued for a slip and fall or a crack in the street.
Oh, yeah.
So the idea that, again, what if there's a reality where, unfortunately, you did everything you could, but it was just 30 seconds too late, and that man died, and they'll be like, that's your fault that happened.
Exactly.
So
I'm like saying, and we've had people like, why are you recording?
Why are you recording?
But now, and why are you posting
What was
it?
it posting it? Like,
yeah, at this point, it's awareness. It's not necessarily, we're sitting there, we're not trying to de-shame nobody. We're not trying to go ahead and, people were saying, why didn't you blur the face out? Well, I mean, if you're not technical, you're not going to be able to sit there and blur the face out. We're just trying to get it out there and let people know, at the end of the day.
I'll be honest with you, the only comments that really matter are like, good job.
Exactly.
Because I gotta love everyone's like, what about your social etiquette? Let me critique this.
they're like, why are you recording? We're the ones doing the work right now.
Right. And also, because the four of us can't give him CPR at the same time. So, not exactly a
You
big
see
deal.
us trading off the phone for flashlight,
Yeah,
holding
right?
it up.
Like, come on now.
I mean,
and that's
yeah.
a big point, using it as the flashlight as a tool. Listen, there's nothing worse than a comment section, because if
you're going to get the hates.
You're going to get the hates no matter what. I mean, it's the world.
Yeah.
But again, not protecting yourself, very smart in that situation. That was a dangerous situation.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, we're we had people defending us at that. We stopped responding. We have over 8,000 comments, so we're just done responding. We see people responding back to hey, you need to be quiet.
There's people in the comment section just fighting,
fighting amongst each other.
That's what they do.
That's what they do. It's so funny just watching it go.
They've lost the plot, because what should they be celebrating?
Exactly.
Aside from all of our opinions on stuff, these two young people saved a life today because they were educated and knew how to follow through, not hesitate to just say, let's be an alpha, and push someone and say, you can do it.
Exactly.
Get in that's how you escape a boat that's sinking. That's how you escape a fire.
Right.
Because you're trained to go, no, act now. No hesitation. You act now. You go. And when there's people around you that are then doing that, you took charge.
Exactly.
And you said, no, put your hands like a prayer and get to it, get to work. And he did it.
And he did it.
And he helped save a life too.
Exactly.
With a language barrier.
Without even knowing, you know. And,
right.
I mean, he was in his boxers and everything. Like, it was a sudden thing that we went and checked on everybody after the fact. But the bottom stairs, like, she was shook. The whole time she was like, you could see it in her face. When we were running up there, she was like stuck in a pose, which most people would.
Most people are because they're afraid, and there's the adrenaline, and there's fight or flight gets there. And the world we live in now, it's a sad state.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That when you hear someone yelling for help,
you turn your back.
You kind of, you're afraid.
Yeah.
You mind your own. You mind your own. That's the sad thing nowadays. You mind your own.
Yes.
Yeah. Nowadays, you don't help. You don't lend out a helping hand. You see someone stuck on the side of the road, you don't help them. You don't stop and ask.
It's rarer because a lot of us are afraid. So I'll tell you a story. I had a neighbor, and she passed now, but she was very elderly, and she was fading fast.
Oh.
And one day, I just hear cries for help outside. And I'm like, it's pouring out. She would wander outside and get lost.
Man. She had dementia, I would assume.
Yeah. And I got her son's contact information. And at one point, she had been standing outside for so long. Like, she was like stuck
in
like
one spot.
Yeah, like physically stuck. I couldn't even like move her. And at first I ignored 2 cries for help because I got creeped out.
Right.
And I'm like, what's not a scary ghost? Get out there. It's clearly an elderly woman. And I found her in her yard, in the back of her backyard. I had to enter the property, and you're nervous because you're entering someone's property.
What's going on?
Right.
Exactly.
And then sure as anything, there she's just stuck in the yard, and I helped her out, and then it happened again, and I was able to help her quicker another time, and I would call her, and I got her son's emergency contact, and he didn't live far. But you can't be so afraid in this world,
right,
when you hear a cry for help, because there is the idea, like in a movie, when a bunch of people are running in a direction, do you start running with them, or do you start running toward the danger?
Right.
And that's what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Like you ran toward the danger, and that's important to be able to do that.
I mean, it's not necessarily just being able to do it. I mean, if you're in that situation, I understand, you know, people can be scared. I wouldn't want my family member, another family member, my little brother, my little sister, just jump into action like that. But if you can and you are able to, and you're not
right, you
shocked,
gotta evaluate. You gotta evaluate the situation. It's something.
You know?
It depends on the type of situations. Here, gunshots. You don't got a
gunshots. You don't got a gun.
You're running with the crowd.
Right. Talking about hearing the cries for help.
It depends.
It's different than hearing the gunshots.
Yeah.
Which, again, we've all had that training too. I had that training too. Sounds like firecrackers. So if you're ever somewhere and you hear firecrackers that you're not supposed to hear firecrackers at your office, you might want to start
get out of there.
Thinking about getting out of there. Exactly. Because that is the experience as we all go, well, I've never heard this before, and you dismiss it.
It's because today's age is like...
Yes.
You never have to think about it, but nowadays, like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yes. So let's talk about nowadays. Why not? So I was talking off air that I do a lot of fun stuff around town, whether it's on the radio or doing some TV stuff. And I am trying to kind of come up with this. I have an opportunity. So I was kind of coming up with, I love interviewing kids, as I was telling you before, interviewing those kids at Suarez City. But I want to interview younger folks about just kind of some things that are going on today. So I would really like to get some of your opinions on just some of the things that are going on today. And not to get too political, we know a lot of that sucks, but let's just talk about how aware you are about like the world, because you're both young men, 22 years old, both working. So Marius, what do you do? What are you doing for a living?
I'm selling cars.
All right, selling cars out there, doing that, and also coach, right? So
yes,
doing that stuff
and I
too.
coach as well. I coach JV football. I'm the defensive coordinator over at Sabino. This is going to be my 2nd year. So
congrats on that.
I'm not quite happy for the incoming freshmen coming in, because you got to go ahead and put them in check. You know, it's a lot of running and push-ups for the first half of it, but going ahead and instilling, instilling a mentality in this new generation. As you said, what's going on today? It is a lot different than what I was just in high school 6 years ago, and it's different from what I experienced. So.
How could it not be? Because I'm basically twice your age, right? So it is that's why I was so interested. I'm like, I want to get kind of your experience, but then also you already do have a critique on some of the 16-year-olds and 18-year-olds that you're dealing with as a 22-year-old and seeing a difference.
Yeah.
And maybe even seeing some of these like COVID results of like, we all missed a couple of years there.
Exactly.
So that is interesting. What are your opinions on some of what you think your future holds? Because when it comes to the job market, obviously, being a coach, great. AI ain't replacing that.
Yeah, no.
Right? And that's important to think about. That's, again, I love how I've kind of changed my direction for things, where
Yeah.
AI is not a threat to me being a public persona who educates and entertains out in the world by being a fun person, right?
Exactly.
So when you think about what you're seeing with some of that, like what's some of your opinions on what the future holds for young people and where do you think they should go as far as like investing in their future?
Nowadays, you have to go ahead and, you know, just take a step back and take your own lane. You can't necessarily tell someone to go to college. You can't tell someone to do this. You can't tell someone to do that. You got to go ahead and follow what your heart wants. You can't go ahead and let your parents direct you into one place. If you have a set goal, you want to go ahead and do it, I just advise you to go ahead and stick to it and just continue to do it. That goes with posting videos. If you're only getting 100 videos a post, keep posting, keep posting, keep posting. That goes with going to school. If you're not going ahead and doing well, go ahead and take yourself into class and, you know, and apply yourself. Go ahead and, you know, just look in different directions. There's different avenues nowadays. You can make videos.
There's trade school.
trade
I
school,
mean,
yes.
I mean, there's all kinds of different routes.
There's different avenues. Like Derek went different route. I'm a school kid. I went the school route. This is my best friend here. He went ahead and
He went the college route. I went the general contracting, blue collar kind of route. That's
Exactly.
it.
Love it. Well, tell me what you do again, because we didn't
Contracting, general contracting, and then I have a mold mechanic business and welding and fabrication at RCT Outlaw Services.
Love it. All right. So that's exciting because this is the point, is you do have options now. And the world has a lot of options. I try to tell kids, and this is something that I'm teaching kids, right, for a long time. And then one day I said this and I got choked up and I'm like, oh, that's why I do it. And I'm talking to them about how they can make art and they can do stuff. And there's not as many gatekeepers as there once was. When I was growing up trying to get a job, it's like, there were 2 books on how to make comics. Now it's you can watch Jim Lee teach you how to draw his Batman.
Right.
You know, and the world that they live in now is opportunity to make your own YouTubes, make your own Instagrams. I literally graduated college and YouTube got invented the next year.
YouTube University, that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
YouTube University, everything, man.
Yes. So that's important to think about, is that a lot of young people and a lot of people in general, even if you want to start again at 45, you can. And you don't need permission. You just need to work hard at it and not give up, like Coach says right here.
Yes, sir.
You just don't give up. It doesn't matter, as he's saying, 100 views on a video. You just keep posting those videos because you'll find your audience. And you
Exactly.
just got to keep looking, analyzing, and doing it, but chasing your own goals. The old assembly line, based on Henry Ford, of we go to school like this, and then we go to college to go get our job robotically right out of there, it does not work.
Yeah.
That's a long done system. And now there are more opportunities, and you got to take those opportunities and make those opportunities for yourself as a young person. I find that very much.
You got to think outside the box. That's it.
You gotta be uncomfortable to be comfortable, you know.
That's it.
I tell people, walk toward what scares you.
Exactly.
That's
if you
what it
don't,
is.
You don't want to go ahead and jump in the fire, then you can go ahead and stay in the cold. That's
You're
all
gonna
it
be
is.
stagnant in life. You're not gonna go nowhere. I mean,
And that's
'cause
not
we have a
necess-
few
I'm not
ventures
dissing
going on.
nobody. I'm not dissing nobody.
You have to have like, I mean, yeah.
You know, you know, there are people that are complacent and can't get out of the situations that are in. You know, I'm not saying that's unfortunate on you, but go ahead and, you know, think back and, you know, we only got one life. So if you want to go ahead and live it, then here you go.
That's right. When I was younger, they used to say YOLO.
Exactly. YOLO.
Oh man, what a good point. Because
Nowadays they say don't die before GTA 6 comes out.
that's right. That's right. That's the new way we keep track
It
of
is.
time. It is so funny. All right.
is.
Well, I will say this. Look at this. I was worried as we were starting. I was talking to these 2 young men, being like, "All right, they didn't send an expert from the American Heart Association, but let's make sure that we just have a great conversation, talk a little bit about what it means to be a young person today, but also what it was to experience that." And it all does fit together because it really is just about educating yourself so that you're prepared for what the world's going to throw at you, because you never know where you are one night. Yeah, go
To be
ahead.
prepared on that, I would say if you're young today, I would carry Narcan. It doesn't matter if you don't do drugs. It doesn't matter. If you see anybody overdosing, it could be off of any kind of drug. It doesn't even matter.
You know, it's free. I know I have a friend. She saved 2 people's lives because she carries Narcan.
That's it.
Exactly.
Yep, because she works on 4th Avenue. So
And
And
where
that's
can
how
you get them?
serious it is.
Where can you get them? Smoke shops is a big place. I tell you what, you walk into any smoke shop, they will just hand you a box of Narcan. I
Really?
promise you. Yes,
no kidding.
for sure.
What an epidemic. All right.
Yeah, that's how bad it
This is
is.
why I'm asking them questions, because by the way, some old folks don't know that.
Yeah, no,
nor,
for sure.
nor would they know that.
They'll
They're
be
in
like,
office.
I have to buy it. Like, no, you don't have to buy it. They're free. You
Yeah.
walk in any smoke shop here in Tucson,
Smoke
Arizona.
shops.
I even
bet-
just mean
I
the
bet if you pulled up
advice.
to the firefighter station, they'll
have Narcan there too, for sure.
I even just mean saying that right here on the radio is just great advice, because I don't think anyone has ever thought that and don't realize how bad it is. That
Exactly.
again, a couple of folks are saying, oh, by the way, are you not all carrying Narcan just so you can save someone who's ODing because you're going to come across that?
Yeah.
That is something that we don't talk about modern times.
Exactly. And
It's modern times. The way now modern times it is so crazy.
Yeah.
And if you have contact with fentanyl, it doesn't matter what. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it's you got to be careful for yourself too. I'm not telling everybody just go ahead and jump into someone's apartment complex and just start doing compressions and whatnot, because you have to ask the situation. Make sure that you're aware. Ask them, hey, what was the situation? Is it a heart attack? Was it an overdose? Is 911 called? You want to go ahead and make sure those two things or those three things are asked, because if it is an overdose, you want to be careful with yourself.
Well done.
You can go ahead and run back and get your Narcan if you have it at your house. You can go ahead and stop the situation, wait for the paramedics to get there, because when the Narcan does hit the person, they will pop up. Like what?
they will get up. It will be like boom. They will
ain't
get
like
up.
boom.
They'll get mad. They'll pop
Exactly.
up. They'll be mad. They'll be
Yeah.
mad at you.
They'll be mad at you, but you know you went ahead and saved them at the end of the day. You know that,
They
in
don't
that
get up. Start
situation,
doing the compressions.
compressions.
Stand alive.
Yeah, go ahead and
Go
get
ahead.
on their
Yeah.
compressions. If
Start
they're not
doing them.
waking up, yeah, every 2 minutes too. You can pop it in their nose every 2 minutes. I just learned that. So
Oh yeah,
they
every
don't go
2
the
minutes
first-
reapply. It doesn't hurt them.
Give them a
Wow.
sternum rub. Give them a sternum rub.
Wow.
Hard sternum rub.
So
Harsh
I'll tell you this: that same friend, she was even friendly with this gal that she saved. And when she saved that gal was mad at her. She said,
Yeah.
"You should have let me die."
You ruined my high.
You ruined my
You ruined my high.
I mean,
Oh.
Yeah,
You should have let me die.
like,
that's horrifying. And I'll tell you this:
You know?
the I do remember from another time talking to the Heart Association that they say, well, not every kid knows "Staying Alive," so it is any song with the tempo between 100 and 120 beats per minute. So any song that will work. So there's another one. You don't want to sing "Another One Bites the Dust," right? But that tempo works. Dancing Queen, "I Will Survive," "Eye of the Tiger," "Wannabe." There's all these older ones, and there's plenty of newer ones too. Oh, it looks like Baby Shark works as well. So,
oh yeah, it does. Baby Shark.
yeah.
That's
So
gonna be
there
a
you go.
hard one. That's gonna be a hard one to pump through.
Or the Imperial March. Okay, so there's a lot of songs
Yeah.
to apparently save lives right here. And again, we learned all about it right here today on Lifestyle Tucson, because today I was fortunate enough to speak with Sabino High School JV defensive coordinator Marius Lester, as well as former All-State athlete and local entrepreneur Derek Sanchez. Thank you so much for saving lives here today.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Of
it.
course.
Yes, sir.
This was Lifestyle Tucson. Bing bong bing, time for a recap. What a great conversation with two young heroes. You can go see the video and get the whole story. Again, I'll tell you, it's at DWREXK20 and at MARIUS_DEONDRE. You know. So thank you so much to Marius and Derek, because it really was fun to learn all of that, learn about what they experienced, how they felt, the criticism that even came with posting a video. So go get all the details about all that, and go get all the details over at heart.org. I've been saying it's heart.org/nation, but that's going to take you to their Nation of Lifesavers page. It's a program that kicked off just this year, talking about CPR. They're teaching it at the FIFA World Cup. They're teaching it all over. There's classes available locally. You got to look them up. You'll find them here. I'm sure that we're going to see Marius and Derek's video on there at some point soon. They were on KOLD News as well just this past week. So they're all over town talking about what happened, saving the life of someone here in town. Again, it's a big deal. Like I say, the butterfly effect, a family not shattered because they happen to move in. They happen to get that CPR training. They kept a cool head. So it's a really big deal to learn about it yourselves. Let's make sure that we can all level up and do our best, saving lives here in Tucson. So I want to thank our new friends, Marius and Derek, for joining me here today. You've been listening to Lifestyle Tucson. If you're a nonprofit that would like to be on the show, email lifestyletucson@gmail.com. For more information about this program or to listen to something you may have missed, go to the Sunday mornings page on klpx.com, kfma.com, mixfm.com, or espntucson.com. You can also subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and Audible, or wherever fine podcasts are heroic. Follow on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Lifestyle Tucson, because I'm your BFF, your best Frank forever, Frank Powers, and toot toot Tucson. I love you the most.